So in one of my previous videos, I actually made a theoretical, hypothetical debate about whether Cyberpunk 2077 would win the Game of the Year awards over Baldur's Gate 3 if they were competing in the same category. Now it seems there's going to be another event coming up just round the corner that will actually put this hypothetical debate to test. We are talking about the New York Game Awards 2024 that will be held on January 23rd. It will be live streamed across both Twitch as well as YouTube. You will see the usual heavy title games that will be slugging it out for the Game of the Year award: Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, and of course, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Baldur's Gate just edged ahead of all the other competitors. It has 6 nominations, while Alan Wake 2 and Cyberpunk have 5 each. All 3 are up for Game of the Year. They solidify all 3 games as being one of the best that 2023 has to offer. Now, the other nominations also include some favorites like Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Starfield, which will be featuring in 3 categories. Now, as reported by GameIndustry.biz, the nominations for this New York Game Awards, right, they are fairly reflective of what we have seen in the industry. So, the usual players will appear here. There are very few surprises being thrown. Of course, one of the big surprises is to actually see Cyberpunk 2077 being nominated as Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate 3 was the big winner in the Game Awards, we all know that. It also became the first game in the show's history to win both Game of the Year as well as the Player's Voice Award. Let us look at its competitors, right? So you have Alan Wake 2, as we mentioned earlier, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. You have Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, as mentioned earlier as well, Hi-Fi Rush, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, another favorite, as well as Starfield. Now, other than Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3 will also appear in the other categories, right? Best Writing, Best World, Best Music, 2 Best Acting nods, one for Amelia Tyler as the narrator, and the other for Neil Newborn as Asterion, right? Neil won the Best Performance in the Game Awards, so I think he will be a favorite to pick it up this time again. Back to Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, it is nominated for Game of the Year, as well as Best Writing, Best World, Best DLC, which I think it is in a very strong position to win, and Best Acting for Idris Elba as Solomon Reed. Now, I like Idris Elba and I think he has a lot of presence in the game. It is very difficult to upstage or even to be at the same level as Keanu Reeves, Johnny Silverhand, but I think Solomon more than hold his ground within the game itself. Is a very pivotal character. But I think it'll be difficult for Idris to upstage Neil as Asterion because I think his performance in Baldur's Gate 3 was just simply wow. It's just simply out of this world, right? So, nominations don't equal wins, we know that. If anything, I think Larian Studios will once again be having a really good night, having a solid buffet and walking back with a lot of silverware. And much like before, I think Starfield will also leave empty-handed. I think Starfield is there just because they are from Bethesda and it's a kind of a reputational thing. I don't even think the game is really that great. It certainly is not the top in class in the categories that it got nominated in, right? Game of the Year, Best Writing, Best World. There's a lot of fierce competition in all 3 categories, and I think Starfield is at best a A- or a B+ kind of game. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, share with me your thoughts. Who do you think would nick the Game of the Year award? In my previous video, I actually went with Cyberpunk 2077, but a certain logical side of me feel that, you know, the wins are probably pushing it the Larian Studio way, right? So if you have an opinion about this, do share it. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.